Hey yo, it's time to roar, get loud, let's ignite. Jeremy B in the house, we keeping it tight. Every weekday at 11, we ready to ride. Lions Talk Live, come and join the pride. Waking up early, it's that morning grind. Tune in to the show, leave the troubles behind. Jeremy B's the king, with the voice like thunder. Every word he spits, it's a lyrical wonder. Got the lions around, sharp and fierce. When we hear one pride, you can't help but feel your heart pierce. Talking all the topics, keep it real, keep it raw. With a lion's mentality, we're ready for the roar. One pride, it feels right. Jeremy B bringing the heat, morning light. Every weekday at 11, we taking flight. Lions Talk Alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
What up, though? It is your weekend Detroit sports report. Michigan plays in the Natty tonight. The Dead Wings are falling apart, losing more. Captain Danny in the house. RBF Fred and MDE. So good to see all of you. Waiting for Yinzer to pop in so I can throw this up for him. So, Michigan is going on to play the Natty against UConn. Nick Burton, you're here. Good to see you, brother. Chuck Clark might be a dog. Who knows? But I hope it works out. We need somebody. Even if it's out of the draft, I don't care. Yeah, that's right. National championship time tonight. And it's good to see you here, Danny. What I want to talk about is UConn lost a player. They lost that ball kid, one of their guards, one of their top players for this game. And this may hurt them majorly in this contest. I said the guys that would come back except for the one. And they did. Everybody's been back except for the one that's out for the year. And he probably won't go to the draft because he'll be hurt at that time. It hurt his draft stock. So he'll be back next year. Say what you want about this coaching staff that we have, but they've done a miraculous job working, getting the NIL going, and everything else. Okay, they are expected to play. Yeah, that solo ball, though, I'm worried about him. He was the one that looked like he got hurt worse. Yes, UCLA women, Big Ten national champs. Big Ten might have 2 champs out of this. Since University of Michigan women's basketball team couldn't do it. They made it there, but they just couldn't get there. But UCLA women getting it done last night. Now it's time for Michigan to get them done over UConn. I'm expecting to be a dogfight, but I said going into this that I thought that the Arizona-Michigan game decided the national championship. Because I don't think either team had a shot. The Tigers are now 4-5. They won their first series by losing the last game, then got swept, then won the first 2 versus the Guards and lost yesterday. Pardon me. Still getting over whatever this crap is in my chest. McGonigal looks just as good as advertised. Yeah, the Baby Blue Bruins got it done. Yeah, exactly. Ooh. Moonscar. If Michigan plays even 50% of as good as they did against Arizona, they should win. Yaxel's injury does concern me. Isaiah Buggs? No, I don't miss him at all. He was awful. And he was an awful person. He had flashes here and there of making some plays every now and then, but he was awful. I feel like if A.J. Murray can dominate as we know he can play, UConn is going to be yes, exactly. And the Dead Wings, what can I say? They win a game, they lose two over the weekend. It's been an awful year for the Red Wings ever since March began. And here we are now sitting at least 2 points out of the playoff race. And the Iser plan is falling apart again at the same time it always does. He made one good move. I agree with the defenseman we traded for. But Dylan Larkin has been a part of all four of these March failures where we were either in contention or fell out of contention all 4 years. As captain of this team, a leader leads his men into battle, not lets them fall apart. And Larkin lets them fall apart. We won more without him while he was hurt. And that's a sad, sad way to go. So the puck talk's going to be short this year because that doesn't look like we'll be talking about the Red Wings in the playoff. But the great thing that happened is the Pistons locked up the number one seed over the weekend. So Detroit has a number one seed going into the playoffs. And they've done it winning without Cade Cunningham. 100%. I agree with that. Yep, exactly. I put a $10 bet to win 83 on a leg parlay of the U of M game. Just needed Yaxel to score 15, but lucky enough, I put a $5 bet on Mara to score 25 to cover my loss. Do we think Yaxel will go the full game? With him coming off an injury, who knows? They just removed him from the injury list, so he's expected to play. I don't know if he makes it through the whole game, especially if he gets into foul trouble early. But that is your weekend report. There's nothing to report about the Lions other than the fact that Dan Campbell said some glowing things about Gibbs and JMO when he was asked about the comparison that Jeremiah Love got the Jahmyr Gibbs pro comp. And he goes, I don't think that's fair to Jeremiah Love. He does a lot of things good for Notre Dame, but he hasn't done it in the pros. And to compare somebody to like Gibbs or to like Barry Sanders or to any of those greats that have played the game, you can't do that to a young man. He goes, because Gibbs is a weapon. It amazes me that Mick Cronin didn't know how to utilize A.J. Mara at UCLA. This team is so fun because Akedu, Morez Johnson, and Mara are all art casts that didn't get playing where they were last year. Absolutely. May has done a wonderful job with the University of Michigan men's basketball team, and I couldn't be happier with him. I was so happy when we got him as a coach the year before. I said, watch. Yep, they booed up Elliot Cadeau out of North Carolina. Cronin may be overrated, but Bickerstaff and the Pistons have done a wonderful job, and it looking like Cade may be back as early as this week. We get another update on him tomorrow. I can't wait to hear that. If Cade's back, I don't think there's a team in the East that can beat us in 3 to 4 games. I just don't. And I don't think Boston's it because they didn't do it when they had Tatum back. And other news, we know Puka Nacua went to rehab, looking like a lot of that stuff was true that was allegated. We'll find out more later. I think it's him getting ahead of any charges. Yes, Duran is a beast. I agree. He's our next extension we have to do. And we need to find the running mate for Cade and Duran. Yeah, we had Jimmy Rolder in. He's a day 3 pick at this point. I wouldn't mind it. I still want Kendall Daniels more. I think Kendall Daniels fits exactly what we need in this defense. The guy I call the cheetah. It's a position that was created in that Venable defense there at Nebraska. Thank you. KCB Sports. That's where I'm headed. It's going to be Detroit talk. That way I don't get left without anything to talk about during the off seasons because there are no off seasons in sports. There's always a sport on. We know NFL is king and it's year round. Between the combine, the draft, training camps, preseason, regular season, playoffs, Super Bowl, it's year round. But that dead space in between each section can be filled by all 3 of our other teams. This is like such a great time of year. We got the draft coming up. We got Major League Baseball starting out. And who'd have thought Dylan Dingler would be one of the top 10 home run hitters right now? He's tearing the cover off the ball. He straightened his swing out. He's looking good. He's hitting for average. It's been amazing. But with Cleveland winning, that gives them a 1.5 game lead over us. They're 6-4. We're 4-5. Tied with the lowly White Sox and the Kansas City Royals, while the Twins are falling apart. Michigan players, Barham, Rolder, Derek Moore, these guys deserve a chance. Derek Moore's probably a day 2 pick, but most of them are going to be 3. I think they'll be rank and file players, like you're saying. That's what you get out of day 3. Day 3 is where you get most of your rank and file players, the guys that play a long time but don't flash. You know what I'm saying? Where they're just solid players to fill rosters. They eventually become starters, but they never really become like the Pro Bowl or All Pro caliber player. So our run differential is +7, whereas Chicago's is -24. I find that funny. Cleveland Guardians are 6-4 with a -4 run differential. We've scored 42 to our opponent's 35. Chicago scored 35 to opponent's 59, and Cleveland's have scored 32 to opponent's 36. Yankees have the best run differential. They've scored 41 and only given up 15. Yeah, it's going to happen the next one. Max Clark for the Tigers is the riser. He's getting there. He's still got to work out some kinks. Farham, I like his style, hybrid linebacker, rush off the edge. He just needs proper coaching, could be super good. Right. I hear you. I'm just not a homer that likes taking a bunch of Ann Arbor players here in Detroit. I guess it's a when you're hot, and when you're not comparison. Exactly. We got Verlander got put on the 15-day DL as of Friday. Other than that, there really isn't a lot of news out there for the Tigers. There isn't a lot of news out there for the Lions. That's why I'm doing it this way now on Mondays. So let's get ready to watch Michigan tonight. Hopefully they dominate. Oh, 100%. But they also have had a lot of flops in the last 6 years. Taco Charlton. David Ojabo hasn't been great. So that has been your Detroit sports update. The Detroit desk. We're going to do this every Monday. I'm going to go over everything. Fridays will be mostly Lions. During the week, it'll be whatever news comes out. If I hear anything, whether it's Tigers, whether it's Red Wings, whether it's Lions, I'll break it all week. But right now, it's the same thing I do at the end of every half hour that I do this during the week. Sometimes it's an hour, it depends on the news, but there isn't a lot out there. So you know what I'm going to do. It's MDE's favorite three letters that he turns into these glorious words. There they are. All right, and we enter the draft. Pardon me. That's where I set this to fast. Must not have. Oh, that hurt. Oh my. Okay, let's see what we got here. 23 and 54 for that. No. 26 and 91. I kind of like that, but it's a little late. And that's late too. So I'm going to back out of these. We got Ruben Bain, Kendrell Falk, Akeem Bessador, Caleb Lomu. I'm sorry, Ruben Bain, you're a Lion. I've been seeing him fall to 17 more and more often. And that's using the ESPN drafting. The more it happens, the more I take them. Gabe Akis is off the board. That's fine. We already got our edge to start. Can't believe Cassius Howell's still there. So I don't like this trade at all. Nor that one. We do need a tackle. Max Ahinacor's here. It's a no-brainer. So we got Bane and Ahinacor so far. What do you think? I think that's a win-win. The two main positions are out of the way that I wanted in the first two rounds. Because, face it, Ben Barch is nice, but he's up there in age too at that 28 years old. I think we only signed him to a 1-year deal. There's been no details on the contract yet. Not put into Spotrac. And I see it's just now reaching the fourth round, so we'll be coming up shortly. Pardon me. Massive haul, but I don't want it. So first, let's go here. Justin Javis, Scooby Shoot. Justin Jefferson. Let's another Justin Jefferson. Yeah, 6'1" and 227. Average draft pick is 178. Pick range between 95 and 20. Projected round 6 times mocked 7 times. That means he must have either some injury concerns or something in his history. Let's look at Scooby Williams and see what his average draft range is. 163. Pick range 163. Times mocked once. Aiden Fisher, on the other hand, has gone all over the place. 79 to 175. Average draft pick is 141. I think it's still too early to grab him. Let's hear Tacario Davis. This is the kid out of Washington who is fast, a 9.76, 6'4" and 190 pounds. I think he's the speed demon we need on the outside. Oh, I was placing my bet with you, Jamie Soda, on OKC versus Boston. Who you got? I'm gonna take OKC, and I'll send you the money for the soda if I lose. How's that? I got PayPal. Now I don't mind that trade. We still need linebacker. It says we need a guard. I think this is where I'm going to do something silly. There he is, right there. Trey Zoon. That guy plays everything: left tackle, left guard, right guard, and center. He's listed as a center because that's what he played his last year with Texas A&M. But he is the Swiss Army knife of this whole thing, and it was the right time to grab him. Almost to my next pick. I think this is where I should get my depth at DT. And you can't go wrong with either one of these guys. I like Dante Corleone, the Godfather. I know who I'm not betting on. You can ask me 100 times. I will never bet on the Golden State Warriors again. They're falling apart fast. Next time Stephon Curry plays defense, it'll be the first time. Linebacker. There he is. Kendall Daniels. There went Robert Spears Jennings. That was the 4-3-2 safety guy. I should have grabbed him, but I'm okay with Deshaun Singleton. Tanner Cozio. We all know where I'm going here. I get the same guy with the last pick every year, or every one of these. Jack Strand, MSU Moorhead, 6'5", 242-pound quarterback who's athletic yet a pocket passer. He knows how to get out of trouble when the pocket breaks down. Broke all of MSU Moorhead's records there, especially with having a 42 touchdown and 11 interception year last year. He threw for 115 touchdowns in his 3-year career as a starter. That's also a school record. It's a Division II record. So let's get this downloaded, and then I'll stop sharing. And we'll get this loaded in. Oh, come on. There. That should do it. There we go. So here we are, our latest mock as of this morning on 4/6/2026. That ain't it. What the heck is that? What is that? That is not the one I just did. There it is. Overall draft grade. Hey, they're draft grading. I got a B. I got an A for Bain. I got a B plus for Max Ahinacor, a C plus for Takario Dennis, a C minus for Trey Zune, a B minus for Dante Corleone, a C minus, a C minus, a C minus, a C minus. I'll take that all day. I say every draft grade should be a C till after year 3. That way you can see development and how these guys. But I'll take I can't believe they do draft grades. When did that start happening? That's awesome. I love it. So now we got draft grades on PFSN. What do you think of that draft right there? We got 29 people watching across the networks. I know I'll have 100 before the end of the day because there's a lot of people that are working right now and can't watch live at noon. They may not have their lunch breaks. But I want to thank you to everybody who is in here. And because it's the end of the show and we haven't done it yet, I got to do it for all the long timers. That's right. I was hoping Shyla Berg would have popped in for a minute. But as always, try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Much love to everybody in the chat. Tune in tomorrow at noon where I'll go over another half hour of Detroit sports for you. Have a blessed day, everybody.
Stories that inspire and riffs that will ignite.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.